The new OTA in Marvel Snap is live and it didn't fix anything. Let's talk about it. Hey, what is up, everybody? Kicker of Elves here. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you're at. It's a Thursday evening. We've got a new OTA live in Marvel Snap. One nerf and a bunch of buffs. Let's jump into it. So probably the biggest update here is that Merlin's been changed from a 2-3 to a 2-2. A lot of people might say that, oh, this is because they don't want to nerf Sholau and, Merlin's taking a hit for him. Even if Sholau didn't release, Merlin was probably overdue for a little bit of an adjustment. It was phenomenal with Werewolf by Night and all that stuff in the previous season and seasons. He's just been an incredible card for a long time. This was the best card released in 2025 by the end of the year in terms of power level. It needed to be touched down a little bit. Even though, I like Merlin, don't like VHAN, it's a similar situation. All the decks that are going to run Merlin are still going to run Merlin, similar to the Victoria hand nerf, so it makes sense to take a point of power off him. Yes, Sholau coming out has exacerbated Merlin being great, but this is a totally legitimate nerf, even without Sholau. What would have been bad is if they took it like I've been playing for a while. When Loki came out, they nerfed Collector first. If they nerfed Scarlet Spider, which had been seeing no play but is now a powerhouse because of Sholau, that would have been a problem. Merlin kind of had it coming. This is maybe my favorite card, so I am very much in the game of not wanting Merlin nerfed at all. This basically does nothing to him. You're still going to do omniversal stuff. A point less power doesn't change why you want to play Merlin, and he still goes in every deck. So this is fine. This doesn't change anything about Sholau. There's nothing in here that changed anything about Sholau. Sholau will be changed when he's not on sale in the season pass, like Mr. Fantastic First Steps. That's just how it's going to go. Unless he was literally 90% of the meta and had a 70% win rate. Like if he was completely busted like Elsa Bloodstone, who is basically Sholau but 2 cost with an easier condition to meet. And I guess Release Surtur got nerfed in a week 2. Sholau was not on that level. He's more comparable to say a Merlin, Iron Patriot, or Sam Wilson. Mr. Fantastic First Steps, probably even better. He'll be nerfed. It'll happen in February. Just you wait. Next, let's talk Phantom X. Phantom X got a buff from 4-6 to 4-7. You still shouldn't be playing Phantom X. I don't think this card's very good. I think at a 4-7, it's if you don't get his condition met, it's at least not a total bummer. I will say there's a lot of very good players like Smiles over at Snap Academy YouTube, Derek, even Roram Plays. They all are not high on Phantom X. I believe when I asked Derek, he gave him a 7 out of 10. So I think it's an okay card. I think doing Marrow stuff, doing Wild Child is fine, but chances are if you got Phantom X in a snap pack, you can make a usable deck. But if you are seeking out these cards, if you're saying, oh, I want to acquire Phantom X because I've got Morgan Le Fay and Airwalker, chances are you've got other cards that are just better and you should be doing that instead. This does not suddenly make Phantom X a good card. I want to talk about these kind of in a group. Vulture got changed from 1-2 to 1-3. Multiple Man got changed from 2-3 to 2-4. Fanfei got changed from 4-4 to 4-5. So they're still trying to figure out, them being second dinner, what they want to do with the move archetype when it's not like the Cougar Irish shells with Thing First Steps and Hydra Stomper. That deck's doing totally fine. I'm glad they're not touching that there. After they nerfed Human Torch, they want to give that kind of move archetype a different identity. With Linlea that just released this week, maybe we could be doing some with Vulture doing some move bounce type activities. Maybe this is great for lower collection level players with Vulture and Multiple Man. Of these changes, I think Vulture might have the most impact because of the potential for move bounce. Vulture, Vulture, Iron Fist, Ghost Spider being a nice little 3 energy package. You can get Vulture pretty high. It still is risky putting a lot of investment into a 1-drop, but Destroy is just not a very prominent deck right now. Batrock's doing just fine, for example. So yeah, sure. Multiple Man I'm more skeptical of. It's getting bumped up to the 2-4. And yeah, for lower collection level players, why not? This is a fair enough change. I've always said in these videos, I am a fan of them buffing cards everybody has access to. And then with Fanfei, sure, make it a 4-5. I got lucky and got the random cool variant for her just out of a random mystery variant. I didn't pay it for it, so I'm more inclined to try this because I have a variant that I like for her. But 4 cost activates, much like Phantom X, are difficult, but this this can sort of play like a mini Heimdall if you don't have anything else to do on turn 4 in your move deck, but you often do. You often are trying to like even now play Human Torch and move in with a Ghost Spider, Iron Fist, Human Torch, or do more move bounce stuff. But this pushes Fanfei in the direction to make it playable. Now, with all 3 of these changes to multiple man, Fanfei, and Vulture, this feels like, and they've done this in the past, where they are doing kind of gentle tuning here. They don't want to go all the way and make Vulture a 1/4, for example. They're trying to see like, oh, is this enough? We're doing little onesie twosies buffs. And that's great and all, but I don't feel like this is going to make a significant change. It would have been nice if they just took a little bit of a bigger swing. Like, I relate to this a lot from like activities in my day job, where if you're changing something that is live in the world, and you can't just hit the undo button like you can when you're writing a Word document. Once you make a change, it's live, it's out there for at least some amount of time until they can do another OTA. If you swing too hard and something breaks, that's arguably worse than if you didn't do anything at all. If you just like, oh, I made Vulture a 1/5, just throwing it out there, now the meta is broken or whatever. But in this case, it feels like, okay, the next time they update these cards, when they make Fanfei a 4/6, then we're, or 4/6, yeah, then we're talking. But yeah, Clea to 1/3, 1/2 to 1/3. This is great. After Shang-Chi got nerfed before he was released, Shang-Chi Master of the Rings with his, that's looking to be a not great card. Giving a reason to do Clea buff stuff, like an easy way to make her meet her initial condition to get Flames of Faltine in your hand. That's really cool. I'm a big fan of the Not My Dance style list where it's like Nick Scratch, Joaquin Torres, just spell slinging. And this could bring Clea to be a consistent part of that package. So I'm excited about that. Good to give Clea a little bit of love, especially since the new Shang-Chi is looking to not be that great. This could help her out. Iron Lad. There was a good long time where Iron Lad was like the best card in the game. I don't know if this is Glenn Jones writing these notes, but in the notes from the book, let's see. Iron Lad is just a card we think is super fun. I believe Iron Lad was the very first card Glenn Jones designed. He was on, I think, a Snap Judgments podcast with like Den and Glazer, and Den was pointing out, like, Den's always been an Iron Lad believer even since before he was released, talking about how Iron Lad's incredible, and Glenn was just like, thank you. Not in like a pretentious, or not in like a facetious way, but it was just kind of like, Dem was literally complimenting his work. So it's kind of funny when I'm like, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree. I like making this. So I think this, if Glenn is having any input on this, like, it does not surprise me that they are saying Iron Lad's a super fun card. He was great. Him going up to a 4/7 is awesome. I still don't know if that makes Iron Lad playable. Iron Lad can lead you to cope staying. I believe this is advice Smiles has given out before. If you're playing Iron Lad as the last card on turn 6, for example, hoping to hit your combo piece, it's still rolling the dice and you might not hit it. Maybe this makes him more consistent in like tribunal lists, I guess, but this still does not feel like a totally playable card, frankly. It's Series 4. This would be a great Series 3 card. If you roll into Iron Lad and you're early on in your collection, sure, there's some stuff you could do, but as Marvel Snap has moved away from just making generically good cards, and they've put an emphasis on synergy, which, to be clear, I think is a good thing, where it's not like, not combo deck synergy, but it's not just like, here is Gladiator, here is Iron Patriot. They don't really have anything to do with each other other than like the numbers and the cards are good and they're both doing beneficial things, so they go together. I like the Merlin Werewolf by Night, where it's like, oh, Merlin moves Werewolf by Night with his 1-cost skills, so it synergizes together that way. I think the Wiccan good stuff, ongoing Zabu slop days are well behind us. Iron Lad thrived in that environment when like Iron Lad might just hit an Enchantress and you get to do that for free as a tech card. He might just hit a Darkhawk or a Rock Slide or a Korg, and then you don't have to play that card. Like, whoopee! So Iron Lad was thriving in a time where there was a lot of good stuff decks, and the meta has thankfully moved away from that. So that's where we're at. If you've got Iron Lad, maybe bust him out. Dragon of the Moon, this is great. It's a super premium season pass card. The word of mouth around Dragon of the Moon had gotten pretty sour pretty quickly. They would like people to spend that extra buckaroos on the super premium version of the season pass, and having a card that's worth a damn on there is great. I think it would be extremely toxic if, let's say, Sholau was the card on the Super Premium Season Pass instead of Dragon, vice versa, and Dragon of the Moon was the main Season Pass card. That would not go over well. But in this case, yeah, this needed its power doubled. Maybe this makes Ronin stuff more of a thing. Like it just doesn't feel like that's ever going to be a real deck. KM made a good point that like Master Mold Dragon of the Moon is good into Merlin where they care about their hand size a lot. Like sometimes it's like, I don't want to curve into this once in future. And like, you can just get hand clogged that way. If you're playing Master Mold and the Dragon of the Moon and this is getting two extra power, this could be a legitimate thing. I might test it out in like Conquest, but I don't think this is going to be a ladder dominating thing. Zombie Galacti, this reads like a buff where it's like, oh, it's not going to target skills anymore. I don't actually know if it is. On yesterday's episode of Marvel Snap Meta Shenanigans, I talked about how the premier Zombie Galacti deck, I have it up still, I think, real quick. Where is it? Here it is. This version right here, Galacti. I'm totally blocking it off. I just noticed where my camera is. You just have to believe me. This is a Galacti list over here. You play Majestic Wingbeat in it, and the way I'll go back over the OPA notes. Thank you for bearing with me on that one. If Majestic Wingbeat was tagged as a Zombie Galacti card, if you were able to go into turn 7 where you would have 8 energy from something like, what are the enablers in there? Like a Surge or just like, not a Surge, like a Surge, cheap in your Zombie Galacti, Symbiote Spider or Superior Spider-Man. On turn 7, you can often have 8 energy. If you played Galacti first and then 1 cost Wingbeat after Galacti, the Wingbeat would stay and turn into another Galacti. So that's a change. Granted, that's a very niche application, and maybe this helps, having it so that you just use Majestic Wingbeat to turn Zombie Galacti into a 6-cost card, so you don't have to do the magic gambling. But I love that interaction. So yeah, that's it. I think all of this is fine. This doesn't really change anything. Everyone's still going to be doing the same Sholau stuff that they're doing, and it's going to happen to the rest of the month until he leaves the season pass and they nerf him. But I'm excited to try to do more stuff with Move. I've been having fun with Linlier. I guess I'll test out a little Dragon of the Moon stuff, but some of this is just like, I've always said I love when they just buff cards that people have, just this all being buffs, and like most of these cards not being on sale. This is great. Again, I do think Merlin had it coming for some time, even though I am a huge Merlin fan, and me personally wouldn't want them to touch Merlin, but like this is fine. Merlin's going to be great. Scott over at Fourth Location made a good point of like, now you feel less bad about polymorphing Merlin or once in futuring him on turn 5, for example, because he's just a little bit weaker. So yeah, this is fine. I don't think this really changes anything. This feels like, if you kind of want to fast forward, it's like, could this OTA be the OTA after the one you do this? Because I don't think 2/4 multiple man's it. But overall, that's interesting. Curious little opportunity. In a couple seconds, you're probably going to see another video from me down here. Check that one out. Continue to improve your rank in Marvel Snap. Hit that subscribe button. Kicker of Elves, that's me. Has all the content you need to get better at Marvel Snap. Improve your rank. Hit Infinite for the first time. Whatever you need, I got it for you. Thanks so much for y'all subscribing. We just hit 1,000 subscriber goal, and now we're going to shoot for 1,500. So if you're getting any value out of the stuff I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment what do you think of this OTA. Check out the video down here. I think it's around here-ish, wherever it's going to be on your screen, maybe down. If I'm pointing in the total wrong direction, that's great. But thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.